Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For a radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also joining us online worldwide via our podcast at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. We're glad you all could join us as well. This is part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD, and with the new school year starting, we wanted to bring your attention to something that is definitely something our audience should be aware of, and that is the teen vaping crisis. Despite the decreases of youth vaping across the country, the use of illegal vapes is still a serious problem. Here to talk to us more about teen vaping, as well as some ways that families can protect themselves, we're excited to welcome Rich Marianos to our broadcast today. Rich is a former ATF Deputy Director and Senior Law Enforcement Consultant. Rich, thank you again for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the time to talk about this very important subject.
It really is, Rich. I don't have children of my own, but I do have a nephew that's graduating this year, and I've heard, of course, even in his school, it has been an issue in the past that, of course, educators are trying to address. But as kids head back to school, can you tell us about the problem with these illegal e-cigarettes and why they're so popular, especially when it comes to teens?
I'd be honored to share this information and get into it. Specifically, when you have 6 out of 10 young adults that are using these illegal vape products, and the majority are being manufactured by Chinese organized crime, it's creating numbers that we've never seen before in any type of epidemic. An over 2,000% increase by young adults since these things first started. Now, we've done a great job in decreasing youth tobacco or smoking cigarettes. It's at its lowest level ever. But in terms of these vape products, these illegal vape products manufactured by overseas, it is higher than ever, and it's creating a problem from the teacher all the way to the law enforcement officer in the community, parents. It's a gigantic issue that's involved in almost every household with a young adult.
Wow. So, because it is something that is so widespread, then, Rich, talk to us about the role of the FDA. Of course, we normally look to the FDA to see how they could be able to help to regulate and help to share information with the public. What is the FDA doing to crack down on these illegal e-cigarettes?
Well, it's important to understand that the FDA is not a law enforcement organization, so they don't have the resources, the time, or the ability to crack down. What they're doing right now is just sending out notices to vape shops or different manufacturers. They may be doing some spot checks with the limited amount of resources they have, but it is not enough, and it is not decreasing the problem at hand. It's not making our educators' job easier, our parenting easier. It's not helping us in terms of what we need the most, and our greatest, most precious resource is our children.
Right.
We need to understand that in order for this to succeed, it has to be a holistic approach with law enforcement, teachers, parents, administrators, and even the politicians to get behind this, to either force the FDA to do their job or give the ability to local law enforcement to take these products out of kids' hands, to stop the illegal predators that are preying or victimizing our school system. And things that do work. Let's talk about, positive things. State directories seem to be helping quite a bit, in which they're outlining what these illegal products are and what the other products that are FDA approved as tobacco harm reduction devices to get people away from smoking are. But in order to succeed, you have to have a registry. In order to succeed, we need to get people more educated on what the problem is and who the enemy is. And in order to succeed, we need to be the loudest voice in the room so the politicians understand of the importance. Positive measures like that will get us through this very, very difficult time. But it's not a situation where we can sit in a silo and just say, this is the school's problem. This is the police problem. So it needs to be a cohesive effort among everyone.
So, Rich, I think then with that being said, and like I mentioned with the new school year starting, of course, the schools are going to be trying to do their part, but of course parents will want to do the same. How can parents and the community best protect our children from the influx of illegal disposable e-cigarettes? What can they do to help with the problem as well?
Well, education is the most important, and there's a vape site out there, illegalvapes.com, that has successful measures, news articles, even some failures, so we don't make the same mistakes twice in some of our communities and schools. But it is designed to have those critical conversations with our students, with our children, with our law enforcement, and finally with our politicians that are going to put the money into these programs and give us the tools to fight back. I say organized crime hits everyone. We have the ability now with Chinese organized crime making these things to hit back. We need public safety to be part of this public health strategy. And part of public safety is to going out to these vape shops, shutting them down, to shutting down these vape sites, the websites, to shutting down social media that's preying on these kids. But take enforcement action. Accountability and enforcement has worked for 300 years. It can work again in the right practices.
So definitely an important conversation, and so glad to have you here with us, Rich, to discuss. Again, everyone, Rich Marianos has been our guest, former ATF Deputy Director and Senior Law Enforcement Consultant, talking with us about the teen vaping crisis, but also, of course, what you can do to protect our children as well. Rich, let our audience know again, you mentioned the website. Let them know again where they can go for more information.
The website's www.illegalvapes.com. It contains everything: a parent, a school resource officer, a teacher, an administrator, and even a politician to go to learn what the problems are and what we can do to solve it. Knowledge is power, and this is the ability to get that message out. So at PTA meetings, at neighborhood watch meetings, at retailer association meetings, people need to know the rules of the game, and this is a way to do it.
All right. Rich, thank you again for the great work you're doing and for spending some time with us today, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much, and honored to be a part of this, and honored to share the information to your listeners.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. And let's go make today amazing. Take care.